Hey, Motivators family, how are you doing? It's Marlene Motivates, and I want to give you some new week motivation. Be encouraged.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey, Motivators family, how are you all doing? Happy Sunday. It's the start of a new week. So I want to give you some new week motivation and encouragement. And today's title is You're Winning as Long as You Try. Now, winning is first has to start in your mind. I have to start off this topic by saying that you're winning as long as you try, as long as you convince yourself in your mind. That is the first space that you need to win at. You have to develop a winning mindset. Now, I know that everybody is going to be different, and we all come from different walks of life and cultural backgrounds and have different personalities. But for the most part, you have to be willing to put in work into you. And today's message is that of encouragement. I know that a lot of times we will feel like we are not accomplishing things. We have not achieved what we want to achieve. And it's not in the eyes of other people. You know, everybody has to deal with different battles and struggles. But I want you to know that as long as you are putting forth the effort, you're giving it your all, and you're trying and doing your best, that is already a winning mindset. And it takes years to get to the space that it's not about anybody but you. When you are convinced that you are doing your best, you have already won. It's just applying it to whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life. You know, winning at keeping a positive attitude, winning at allowing yourself to reset. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. But I did want to approach today's conversation and say, you are already a winner. Just because you make the choice every day to wake up and to try. There's so much people that do not even give it that level of energy. They don't even give it that level of effort. They don't try to do anything because they feel like, why try? It will never work. The first person that you have to be, that has to be convinced is you. Unless you're convinced something is going to work, then it won't. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. Hey, Real Odds and Evens, how are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you guys being here. Happy Sunday. If you have not already, please hit the like. I'd really appreciate it. So I did want to start off, the new week with this thought so that you can go through, the next 6 days of this week with that mindset. If you woke up today and you said to yourself, I'm a winner, you already have won. And I don't know about you all, but not growing up with that mentality, that mindset, I had to learn to make the choice to say, I'm a winner. To make the choice to say, as long as I'm trying and I'm giving it my best and I'm doing my all, that is what is important. Yes, mine is was terrific as well. Thank you so much, Sirius. Glad to hear yours was as well. Hi, Miss Lynn. How are you doing? Welcome in. I really appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are all awesome. So, I wanted to say this, everybody. You're winning as long as you are trying. Now, I can't say what Sirius or Real Odds and Evens or Miss Lynn or anybody who's in the background or in the replay what winning will look like to you, but you do, you know. And there's so much things that we each have to overcome, a series of trials. Maybe your trial may be, feeling down. Another person's trial could be feeling lonely or discouraged, or just making it through the day, for whatever struggle or problem or challenge that you may be facing. Maybe your challenge is having a health problem. Your challenge could be working somewhere that you don't want to work because you're not where you want to be. Every single one of us has challenges that is in our life, but then it's up to us to ask ourselves, what am I going to do with this challenge? How am I going to make my challenge my win? So I wanted to say that first of all, starting off today's topic, that as long as you know that you are giving your all and doing your best, we cannot do more than that. And I used to always feel like I was lacking. I could do better. And you will be fully extending yourself to everybody. And I'll tell you something, don't waste your time trying to please other people. You'll feel defeated, you'll be worn out mentally, physically, financially trying to please and make other people happy. What is important is you doing satisfying work, finding your purpose in this life, learning to monetize your talent. And when you do the things that you're passionate about, it's not a heavy thing to carry. It's not a heavy burden to carry. And actually, it's not burdensome. It's refreshing. It's restorative. So if you allow yourself to do what you are supposed to do, and just the icing on the cake is if you make money doing it, that's one of the best gifts that you can ever get in this life. Well, I digress to get back on this topic that there's a lot of times we can be doing so many great things for others, but we are not doing great things for ourselves. And I want to say to anybody who needs to hear it, to the moms and the dads, the aunties, the uncles, the friends, the entrepreneurs, the ones that may feel broken or unseen, the ones that people really don't show appreciation and support and show that they are grateful for you, but we have to appreciate our own self. Hey, Leonica, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And that is one of the things about life is we have to open up our eyes. We have to pay attention to people's energy. We have to watch people's actions. How do they treat you, not what they are saying? So I wanted to give you that, little bit of a backstory or thinking about that, because sometimes we get ourselves so overwhelmed with feeling insufficient and lacking when actually we have never been lacking. You've always been enough. You've always had it, but other people will get you sidetracked, distracted, upset, angry. You'll be walking around feeling unfulfilled, feeling insufficient when you're not lacking. You're more than enough. So I wanted to say that to whoever needs to hear it. You're more than enough. Sometimes the people in our life, they are the ones that didn't deserve us. They never deserved our time, our energy, you know, being in our presence, because they don't know a good thing when they have it. But that is where we have to gain knowledge. Sometimes you have to go through some things to be able to be put back together. And I want you to know that if you're in the season of resetting and restarting, that it's okay. It's okay for us to reset. It's okay for us to restart. And, I think sometimes as human beings, we are so rough on ourselves. We will be our own worst critic. We could be having great ideas. We could be doing amazing, working hard, doing everything that we need to do, and we still will feel, oh, I should have done more. The one thing maybe you missed, or the one thing that you didn't do for somebody else, you will criticize yourself and overanalyze. Stop doing that to yourself. Don't do that. You know, all you do is really trouble yourself, irritate yourself, and lower your vibration and your energy. Yes, it's so facts and so true. So we can't get into winning in our life, succeeding, if we do not find out, like, what am I doing that is dulling my knife, so to speak? What is dulling my senses? What is draining me financially, emotionally, spiritually? Because if we don't stay on point, if we don't stay sharp, if we don't pay attention to the things that is subtracting from us, or not allowing us to show up as a bright light, if you are around people who are always subtracting, always taking from you, always projecting their fears and your insecurities onto you, how can you ever feel strong enough to have the courage to move into your purpose, to be your best, to feel your best, to just go through the day to day of life just as a human being? Because there's the adulting part that every single one of us must go through adult things. But when you are carrying all of the extra things of the over analyzing, the criticizing, the negativity, the dirty looks, the everything, it becomes very taxing on us. So that is the reason why we have to make sure when we start our day, just like we are starting a new week, we start our week getting our mind prepared for what we're going to have to endure. Maybe for some it's tomorrow. Some people, like myself, the work week has already started. My work week started this morning. But anywho, if your work week starts tomorrow, then you have to put in your unto yourself. It's preparing your foundation. And if we don't prepare our mind, our spirit, our outlook for what we're about to endure, when you get into situations, that's why you may doubt yourself, or that's why you will allow people to make you stop. It's nothing wrong with slowing down, to reset, to recharge, to analyze and ask yourself some questions. Is this what I really want to do? Or am I just doing this just because to make this person or that person happy? See, I wanted to say that because I believe many of us motivators, we waste our time. You waste your time on people who do not care for you at all. And they've shown by their actions, they don't care about you. They've shown that they don't want to support you. They've shown that they're not here for you. They've shown that they don't want to see you win. They've shown all of those things. But will we believe people the way that they show up? Or are you going to tell yourself those lies? Because we do lie to ourselves. Most of us as adults are not transparent enough and honest enough to say, you know what, I believe more in them than they believe in themselves. I give the support that they are not willing to give to me. I love them more than they love me because they don't know how to love themselves yet. So all of that is important when we think about our day-to-day life. If we are around individuals and they don't love themselves and they're angry and they are not doing well with their financial planning and how they budget their money and their time, if they do not have time management together, it may be the reason why you cannot be on a good schedule of time management. And I know that that was the case for me for many, many years. I was always so used to just lax, just relaxing, just chill out. Everything was just chill, chill, chill. But then you look up and then you look at the age that you are, and you thought that you would be further in your life or your career or your business or whatever than you are. And that is one of the things about life that most people will do not allow themselves to be honest enough. And I had to really go about with my mentor, my therapist, my accountability partners, my really good friends that love and support me. And they helped me to come to the conclusion, having honest conversation like, what is the things that is stopping you from being your best self? What is stopping you from being happy? Are you self sabotaging, or are you not being consistent? Are you not planning? Are you not formulating a reasonable and attainable goal? Because I know that that was the case for me for a really long time. I had big goals and big plans, but there's no way that I could get to that because the things that you may be wanting, that's not within your personality, your goals, your life, your purpose. Sometimes we'll spend our whole life distracted doing things to make other people happy because that's what other people may want us to do, or you just get comfortable knowing that you can do more. You're not really using your talents, you're not using your gifts, you're not stepping in line with your blessings that you possess. Because I'll tell you something, being a person that I have no problem with being transparent, you can block your blessings. There'll be things right in front of you that all you need to do is continue on and do X, Y, and Z. But when you have other people who do not believe in you, they don't want you to do better than them, you will block your own blessings, be following behind other people, trying to make other people happy, being distracted, listening to other people, and then you start doubting yourself and saying, maybe I can't do it, or maybe I am too old, or maybe I am too damaged, or maybe I'm too this, and maybe I'm too that, and then you give up. See, today's message is about winning. And I want each and every one of you to win in life. But first, before you talk about your whole life, you have to think about first, you got to win in the moment. It's about your decisions that you make throughout the day. And when you start making better decisions, you make better plans, you have a support team, you know, and then you stay consistent and do what you're supposed to do. See, that's the recipe for success. You rinse and you repeat it. You have to stay consistent, you have to stay persistent, and you have to have people behind you that are cheering you on, that are saying, hey, rework the plan, take this out, do this and do that. Nobody is an island, even though sometimes we feel like we can do it all. But everybody needs a little bit of critiquing, some coaching, some support. So, in all of that, even a person who has a brilliant mind, the most intellectual personage that you ever could meet, you can be around them, but it won't matter. You can be brilliant in mind, but if you don't humble yourself, if you don't accept help, if you don't make changes, if you don't shift your mindset, if you don't stay consistent, how can you win? And that is one of the things that I had to learn for me. I can't speak for everybody, but I had to learn to get out of my own way, get out of the way of my own success, because you can be, telling yourself, oh, I that won't work, or listening to other people, oh, I tried that didn't work, but they're not you. Nobody is you. No matter if somebody may have a very similar circumstance, maybe somebody, you and another person, maybe you both did something wrong, and it's a very similar situation, but they may not have your drive. They may not have your desire, your skill, your mindset, your talents, your focus. See, what I have learned in my years of existence is it's not until I forgive myself. And for me, it's forgiving my inner child, forgiving the little girl inside of me, and not beating up myself over and over and over again about whatever it is. And that's why when I'm in that mode and space of hesitation and doubting myself, or looking at another person and saying, oh, how come I should be further on? No, that's when I talk to my little girl and I tell her, a little 7-year-old Marlene, go have a seat, because we're about to win. The adult Marlene is here, and she's consistent, she's persistent, she loves herself. So you're safe. It's okay. Have a seat and let the adult me take over. See, I can't speak for everybody, but I know myself. I know when that little girl inside of me, the one that was harmed, the one that was abandoned, the one that felt like she was nothing and not enough, I have to tell that little girl, or if you're a male, tell that little boy inside of you to have a seat whenever you doubt yourself. And I'm quick to say it, little Marlene, have a seat, okay? Because we're about to win. And if you do not face those times of doubt, and oh, okay, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, looking for a perfect situation, waiting for perfect support, waiting for the perfect situation financially. And I'll tell you something, you're never going to have a perfect situation. You're never going to have perfect support, but you have to ask yourself, well, what is my drive? What am I willing to do in order to have what I want? Okay. Siri says, I'm more vocal about what it is I'm going to accept from anyone. I used to tolerate people's bad behaviors, and I realized it was more damaging to continue to allow it. And that's so true, Sirius. It's so true. When we allow whoever it is, family, friend, social media, anybody, to keep our power, to take our power. And it may be because maybe you have not forgiven yourself for maybe something you did, or maybe you have not forgave somebody in your life that hurt you and put some sort of pain. And even when people, you try to hide from that skeleton in the closet, you try to hide and say, oh, that's over, that's the past, but you're still moving like you're afraid. That means you haven't forgiven it, and you have to speak it out loud and say, that is over. I have forgiven it, and I'm moving on because I'm better today, and I know my power and know my worth. Don't be afraid to speak out loud confidently. And I love myself. And because I love myself, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I'm going to stay consistent, and I will not listen to the lies, the slander, the jealousy. See, my situation presently will not be my future. You have to speak that out your mouth, or you will get the same. Yes, that's the reason why I don't meet people where they are. If you're there with them, you will never elevate. You will be stagnant. Mm-hmm. That is so true, Sirius, because That's why I always say you have to be so careful of who you associate with. You have to be so careful of who you trust. You have to be so careful of who you share your dreams with. And more people need to learn to walk in silence and mind their own business, not their business. You need to mind your business, because what another person wants to do with their life, that's them. You are in control of what you do. And that's why I always have to ask myself, like, what are you doing right now? And making sure every day I have a plan, not too many things so that I don't overwhelm myself. I usually give myself about 3 things to accomplish per day. And I used to be the person who was overzealous, thinking that I was going to accomplish 30 things for a day. That's not reasonable or attainable. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. You get 0 things done because you are overwhelming yourself. I give myself 3 things to do for the day, and I don't move on to the next task until the first one is completed. I do it. I said I'm going to do this, this, and this today. And if there's more, then I move on to maybe other things that I have down the line. But it's important to do things and to complete it. And why that is important, when you see yourself accomplish something, it gives you, it emboldens you. You become more courageous. You become stronger because you're confident. I accomplished that. So that means I can do the next thing and the next thing. And that is the winning spirit. It's the winning spirit. You have to find something to keep you encouraged, because you can start off at the gate. I'll tell you this. You can start off with something, with this goal and plan, and you can be on fire. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm about to do this. I'm about to crush it. I'm going to rock this thing. And then the first thing that irritates you, the first time somebody says something or puts a seed of doubt into your mind, and then you listen to it, you believe it, and you let that bench you. See, that is what people want. People want, if they can't get you to give up, they at least want to get you to stop. They at least want to get you to slow down so that they can surpass you. You know, there are so many individuals that that they don't say it to you, but they're watching you, and they want to see you fail. They want to see you fall flat on your face, because they'll say things like behind your back, "Oh, I know you couldn't do it. I know you couldn't win." And usually those are the same people that you associate with on a regular basis. You know, your enemies are the people that are right in front of your face. They could be living under the same roof, your very own household. So you be very careful. You got to be cognizant of people's energy. And you can't believe that everybody who is around you wants to see you succeed and win. And that is one of the reasons why I walk in silence and mind my business, mine. That's a personal thing. Nobody is entitled to know what I have going on. And people will just ask you very freely, "Hey, what you got going on?" No. Oh, and you just tell them nothing. I don't have nothing going on, so that they can tell everybody in the neighborhood and broadcast it. And, "Oh, I know. Oh, who do they think they are? They're going to get this and do that." It will never work. Got to be careful of those people who try to poke holes in your dreams, sabotage your success, talk about you behind your back. You got to be careful about those individuals. Very true, Miss Lynn. Very true. Yes, it's very important to accomplish your goals. But the thing that nobody ever taught me when it came to accomplishing goals, that was the reason why I was not accomplishing my goals. I was not accomplishing my goals because I not only did not have a reasonable and attainable goal, but I also did not have a support system. I also didn't know what I was going to do next. I also wasn't enthusiastic about it. And I'll tell you, whatever it is that you're doing in life, if you are not excited about it, if you don't have a fire underneath you, it doesn't wake you up in the morning excited, then that means that your dream isn't big enough. Or maybe that's not even your dream. Maybe that's something that maybe your mom, auntie, cousin, husband, girlfriend, wife, whoever, friend, coworker has told you something, and you think that's your dream because somebody told you, hey, you should do that. It's just something to think about. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Welcome. Let's see what I missed. Yes, that's the thing about the past for me, sweeping things under the rug. I speak out on what's on my mind and not repress my feelings. And that takes a lot of work. It takes so much work to face something. Like when something happens, immediately you call it out. And it doesn't have to be nasty, you don't have to be rude. But when someone does something to you and you don't like it, call it out. Hey, yeah, I just wanted to tell you, I don't know if you were aware, but when you said X, Y, and Z, this is how it made me feel. And why that's important is when we don't check things, when we don't address things, when there is a problem between you and somebody else, they keep your power. They stop you from accomplishing things because your mind is only focused on, I can't believe they said that. Your mind is only focused on the anger, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and you'll never be able to accomplish things. So if you got something, you need to clear the air. You need to forgive somebody. You need to heal that. And I learned that today in my service. And it was about forgiveness and how important that the forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you, even though they may be, they benefit from the forgiveness. But when you forgive somebody, you forgive them so that you can move on with your life. And also you forgive, and it does not mean that you have to deal with that individual anymore. You forgive them so that you don't hate them. You forgive them so you don't block your blessings. You forgive them so that you have peace. You forgive them so that you can get to the next thing in your life. So all of that is important in winning. You cannot win if you are in the state of anger. You cannot win in the state of confusion. You cannot win where there's hatred in your heart. You have to have peace from within. And that takes a lot of inner work, and it means really checking your emotions and how do you feel and what do you have going on. That's hurtful. And the majority of people do not want to face how they feel. They're so accustomed to being either cold or having to put on a brave face, save face, oh, and telling other people, oh, no, I'm good, I'm happy. And inside you're miserable. All you're doing is hurting yourself, and you're stopping yourself from winning. Yes, sure do. Yes, you got to take it one step at a time. Yes, jealousy. Jealousy, that green eyed monster. It's nothing more terrible than jealousy. Jealousy will cause you to do so many things that you would not normally do. It will cause you to unalive somebody. It will cause you to just do some crazy and wild things just because you're jealous. So you got to cool that off. You got to calm that down. You got to ask yourself, why am I jealous? Is it because I feel like I want something that they have? Or is it that you're jealous because you don't like not having attention? And so those are other issues. And that's why working on our own self development, our own self awareness is so vital. It's so important that you really check those things. Like when something comes up, when it bubbles up to the surface, you have to be transparent enough to say, yeah, I need to address that. Yeah, I do. I need to work on that. Or I need to make peace with this. Or it's time for me to get up and do X, Y, and Z. To all of my motivators family, I want to say something to you all. Give yourself the permission to be great And I want you to say that to yourself and repeat it as many times as you need to. It's something that I repeat on a day-to-day basis. I give myself the permission to be great today. I give myself the permission to be free. I give myself the permission to not be controlled, to be my best self. I give myself the permission to be free, free of other people's problems, because other people's problems is not my concern. What other people choose to do is none of my business. It's not my business to save other people. See, when I learned that part, that it was none of my business to be someone's savior. Stop trying to save your relatives, save your spouse, save your friend, save this person, save that person. And the hardest part is that you are trying to save people who don't want to be saved. They want to be miserable. They want to be angry. They want to be controlled and coddled. And, they want you to feel sorry for them. That's just not going to work, right? Yes, jealousy, serious. Thank you. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Sunday. I truly appreciate you being here. Oh, I see I got a new member. Hey, how you doing, Mama Global? Welcome to membership. I truly appreciate it. You know what we have to do? Time for the member song. Welcome to membership. Yes. Thank you so much, Mama Global. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining channel membership. Make sure you check out member only videos and live streams. Okay. So let's see what else I missed. Absolutely. Yes, you got to clear your mind, body, and spirit. Yes, that's so true. Serious. Every morning I speak truth into my mind. And there's so much people who don't understand that there is so much power in speaking over your life. So much people don't understand that if you go out in this world unguarded, unprotected, you have not put on, your armor for dealing with society, dealing with people. You have to speak over your life. Today, I'm going to be great. And I remind myself, today I'm going to be great. Today I'm going to do my personal best. It may not be, another person may not think it's the best, but I'm going to do my personal best. And I'm going to be confident and love myself. I will be kind to others, but I will not be run over, run through, disrespected. Everything has its limits, right? Isn't that the truth? But we have to speak over ourselves. Okay? Speak over yourself. Yes. Yes, good evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mama Global. Have a great rest of your day. Yes, I'm doing amazing. Nate, thank you so much for asking. Yes, support is definitely appreciated. So, I honestly wanted to come on and to say that don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your life, And this is something that a lot of people, they don't really talk about it, but sometimes we give up on ourselves. We may not be taking care of ourselves, maybe like we used to do about 20 years ago, getting yourself dolled up or zhuzhed up or, looking dapper or handsome. To all of my male my male members and motivators, and also to all my ladies, you may not be putting in all the work to make yourself look gorgeous, like maybe you used to. Maybe you've slacked, you know, in taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. So it's one of those things that you have to be cognizant and say, hey, when's the last time I did this for myself? It's been a while. So, you give yourself the permission to say, okay, I wasn't before, but now I am. And you give yourself the permission to reset, to restart, and then you do it. Stop beating up yourself for what you didn't do, and let that go and say, today is a new day, and today I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. That's so important in having the winning spirit. It's not about the past and yesterday and what you should have done. It's about today and doing the best you can with today. The best you can. Yes, keep pushing towards your goals and never let anyone stop that. And you should also include in that, it's important for us to reinforce our own self and not stop ourselves from winning, and not stop ourselves you know from failure, because first you have to believe you're a winner. That's speaking over yourself. That's in how you treat yourself. And it's also in the positive self-talk. That is so important. Having positive self-talk is vital. It changed the trajectory of my life when I started to say I can do great things. And I say it with a smile on my face because I never used to believe that before. I never believed that I could do amazing things. I never thought that I was capable. I never thought that I was enough. So that's why I come online and I talk to my motivators family, and I say this, regardless of if anybody told you today, yesterday, years ago. It's about today as an adult, and me speaking over my life and saying that I am enough. I can do all things. I believe in myself. I can get up. I can dust myself off. I am not my past. I am what I do in my present, because I'm going to make my future bright. Okay? Remind yourself of that. If you do not reinforce your mind with some mindset shifting, with some positive affirmations and speaking over your life, nobody else will. I want you to remember that you're a winner. Remember that you are enough. And remember to always get support. You know, that is something that a lot of people do not do. And I get it, because asking for support from the wrong people will be your detriment. But getting support from the right people, the movers, the shakers, the entrepreneurs, the business people, the people who are already doing what it takes. I don't mean getting advice or trying to ask for support from people who do not support you. That's not what I mean. I mean asking for support from people who have supported you in the past, and they're always looking for you to win. They speak over your life. They're always encouraging you, saying something positive. They're there even on the days where maybe you don't feel like you can do it. But then they're there for you. They listen to you. They positively, give you a nudge. Sometimes literally give you a nudge. Okay, come on, get up. It's time for you to stop being down there. It's time for you to stop feeling sorry for yourself. And it's time for you to get back on the horse, so to speak, and gallop into your dreams. Go for it. You know, I know for me, when I got in that state of being stagnant and not doing what I needed to do for myself, I needed somebody on the outside, not no relative, not a friend, just a person who did not know me, a stranger, literally, that told me that you're the only one that can tell you when you're ready to win. Until you say, I'm a winner, until you say, I'm going to do what it takes, until you stay consistent, until you become confident in your dreams and what you're doing. The winning, the winning just happens after consistency meets hard work. And that's it. Because it's only a matter of time. If you stay consistent and you keep going and rinse and repeat and do what you're supposed to do, you will win. It's consistency and discipline equals success. And that's it. Being determined. That's so important. Hey, Realist, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Sirius. We appreciate your transparency and your inspirational messages. It's reaching out to someone that needs to hear this and will apply it to their day to day life. Yes. Yes, I understand, Nate. I understand. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this topic, because there's a lot of times in this life where we do things that we honestly don't want to do, you know, but then we do it anyways because of course we need to eat. We need to keep a roof over our head. We need to do certain things. So also think about those things and apply it to other things in your life, you know, making your financial portfolio, making sure you take care of your physical health and getting your exercise and seeing your doctor and really checking how really are you doing, not just saying I feel okay, like literally looking at labs, literally. If you see something in your life that you don't like, putting in the work in order to shift it and change it. That is the difference of a winner. A winner just doesn't sit on the sidelines expecting to win at things by riding on the coattails of other people's success. No, they put in the work. They grind, they hustle, doing multiple things until they get where they want to be. And that's just it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I just want to encourage you all for this week ahead, and I want to implant that in your mind, okay? That you're a winner. I'm a winner. I succeed. Everything I do will meet with success. And my mentor tells me that all the time. If you don't speak over your life and say that to yourself and believe it, everything I do will succeed because I am a winner. That's the mindset that we need. And then you get focus. You develop a strategy. Okay? You stay consistent. You stay away from the haters and the jealous people and the controlling people, manipulative people, and get yourself people who are already winning at this life. And they're not trying to do anything but support you. They're not trying to do anything but encourage you. There's no hate there. It's all love. It's support. It's camaraderie. Can't got tongue tied. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But it's all about a group effort, group work, and it's about building teams and having people on your side that will really be there for you. Sometimes it's not the people in your face that you expect to support you in whatever it is that you're trying to win at. I find that I've had people who don't even know me that have poured so much encouragement into me, so shown me so much love, whereas people that has known me for years, it's crickets. So if you need some support, don't sit and wait for support from people who have already proved that they haven't support you. They don't support you. And I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of people who always pretend with their fake support selves like they really care about you. They don't care nothing about you. Actually, I will just say it. They hate you. You know, Don't fool yourself. Do not fool yourself into thinking that these people love you because their mouth says it. Just because the mouth says it, it doesn't mean that that's actually the energy that they're showing up. See, the energy, it never lies. It always tells us. You can feel when something isn't right. You can trust the actions when you always have to be the friend, or you always have to be the person doing. You have to be the person all the time pouring out. They never show up for you. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. The people that I have in my life, do they show up and show out for me? Or do I always have to reach out? Do I always have to do the asking? Do I always have to do the kind deeds? I'm just saying, don't waste your time. Right? Serious. Right. Facts. Yes, the crazy part about that is when you smoke out the ones that shouldn't be, you end up with the true person in your circle or none. And that's one of the best things that can ever happen to you. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie that, when the dust settles after all, the gun show, and all the shots have been fired, and you said something, they said something, and then it breaks apart, it's broken, it's like a tornado that happened. But after that, after the storm, there's always peace. After the storm, there is a rainbow. After the storm, there's insight. And you come back into you being the person that you should have been all along. But sometimes we get off track and we get distracted because of some people just come in to distract you because they only want you to spend your time, your money, your energy on them. But when it comes to you, now they don't have time for that. It's all about them. And we all know individuals who are like that. Don't waste your time. Okay. Yes, realist. We do. We have to be mindful. I've moved clear away from the naysayer. If you don't serve no purpose, I swiftly move away. Exactly. I'm not going to be the person calling, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not forcing no relationships. I if somebody has already shown that they really don't care, if it's always me doing the reaching out, it's always me putting in the work into the relationship, then I'm not going to be the only one doing the heavy lifting in a relationship. I've learned that that's not winning, that's losing. And you better learn to save your own skin because people are going to do the same. When everything happens, they're going to work to save their own skin. And if you get whatever, if you get hurt, you get whatever, they don't care. Yeah, it's necessary, but it prepares us for the realization. Exactly. Yes, when you see when you see what you never gave a thought to in the beginning. Hmm. Yep. You find out eventually. You find out who people really are. You find out that people aren't what you thought they were. But it's all good because it's a lesson. I've learned that there are no mistakes in this life. There's only lessons. Either you're learning or you're winning. There's no in between. You didn't lose, you didn't fail, you didn't make a mistake. All you were doing is learning. See, when you shift your mindset, you can't ever, all you can do is win and elevate, but you got to first work on your mindset. What is your attitude to it? What is your outlook? Who do you surround yourself by? What are you reading? What are you actively doing? How are you treating your body? It all matters. You can't just put all this junk into your mind. You can't put all this junk into your body and think that it's not going to affect your physical person. You can't put all this junk into your mind and then expect to be intellectual. I'm just saying. I'm just the messenger. So if you want to win, you got to put in the work. You have to try. You have to believe in yourself and be confident. Know that you're a winner. Even if you're not seeing it right now, trust me, it's coming. See, the wins come from what you do. Your wins come from how you treat other people. I'll tell you that I have been blessed beyond measure because of the way I treat others. I have been blessed because of sharing my story and helping other people. Or here's another one: when I had the chance to get even, I chose to not respond or to walk away. See, that's when you know that you have grown. That's when you know that you're a winner and you're mature. When you could spill all the beans. You could tell all this person's business, but you choose not to. That's when you know that you're there. Uh-huh. Yes, realist. It has to be both ways. If not, there's your answer. Mm-hmm. Yes, they hide behind all these masks, don't they? All these masks. Yes. So I appreciate you all. I hope everybody has an awesome and amazing week ahead. Hopefully, I can be able to come back on, I think Friday. We're going to do a member only live at some point, but somewhere during the week we're going to try to tap in another time. So keep your notification bell on. I'm Marlene Motivates. I am your life coach for motivation, inspiration, mindset shifting, inner child healing. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you have a great week ahead and know that you are a winner. Know that you are enough. Speak over your life and show it by your actions. You're a winner because of how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, and who you support. Thank you so much, everybody. Everybody have a great week ahead, and I will see you on the next one. And you know what we say over here. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am